The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello everyone, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but then again, what video have I not said that? So let's start with some news. So this week I've got the Growing Out West Farmers Market in Evergreen at Cactus Jack's. Please come, it really is a lot of fun. Every time I do the event, I'm always laughing at something or having a really great conversation with a customer or just a random stranger. And the hours are, they moved the hours, it's now 10 to 4. So it's this Thursday at Cactus Jack's in Evergreen, Colorado from 10 to 4. So I hope to see you there. And I'm trying out a new market this Saturday, and I pulled up their information. It's the Broadway Bazaar Vintage. So I got in at last minute. I didn't think I would, but it is this Saturday from 11 to 5. And I'll put all the information. Oh wait, actually it is at 200 South Broadway in Denver. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, please come on by and check us out. I'm really excited to be a part of this market, this event. And who knows, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Let's see what else. So my new book, Maureen, is now available through Amazon. Yay! It is independently published, and it came as a what if about 6 months ago. And I'm so glad that it's done and it's off my plate. I have so many other manuscripts to write, but there's also a tea blend, which is called Maureen and Ella's Friendship Tea Blend. It's a Ceylon tea with hibiscus, orange peel, and rose hips. I think that's right. Dried cranberry, excuse me. And you can buy the tea through my website, viridianteacompany.com. I always post it in the video, so be sure to check that out. And I also will have the link to where you can order copies of Maureen as well. And I will have copies of Maureen at future events too. And I also want to talk about, I have been going sticker crazy making them. And I now have stickers for my tea company. So here's a couple of designs. This is one of my VTC designs created by J.W. Bullard. And then I've got Tea Muse and one of my favorites, Ex Libris. And then Have a Cup of Tea. And my newest one, Knitting is my superpower, because it really is. I did have another sticker that said Just Be Weird, but apparently that was really popular and I've sold out of it, so I will be making more. So you can find my stickers also through my website, viridianteacompany.com, and I will have more designs coming out, so just stay tuned. And then finally, in the knitting corner, the yarn corner, so here's my latest work in progress. I don't know, I think it's going to be like a shawl or a wrap, but funny story, I got 3 skeins of this color yarn, it's called Arabesque, from a thrift store. And I found the right size needle at the thrift store as well. And I thought, you know, why not? So yeah, I'm totally in love with this color. You can see it kind of like shimmer. It's really pretty. And yesterday I started to learn about this guy, the crochet hook. And with this lovely yarn here. And I'll tell you something, you know, people have been telling me since getting into this that, oh, you know, crocheting is so easy, you know, knitting is easy. You know, I took to knitting first and it was really simple for me. Like, it took me a couple of tries, but then I was like, okay, I got the rhythm. Crochet, on the other hand, it's like my brain is yelling at me saying, okay, I just figured out knitting. You're doing really well. Why do you want to learn how to crochet? Because I'm like, well, why not? So I've been looking at a couple of videos and just kind of trying my hand at it. It's a slow and steady process, just like with knitting, but I hope to figure it out. And I think I've got the mechanics of it. So we'll see. You know, who knows? I might have crocheted a blanket in a couple of weeks. So we'll find out really soon, won't we? Right. So let's get to the books. So this first book, as y'all know, I'm a big murder mystery reader and writer, and I love checking out new mysteries and just saying, you know, okay, well, this is kind of fun. Oh my God, that's incredible. This book had me laughing, shaking my head, and feeling dread all at once. And it is called An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed by Helene Tursten. So apparently this is the second book in the series. I need to read the first one, but let me read the back of the book for you. Don't let her age fool you. Maud may be nearly 90, but if you cross her, this elderly lady is more sinister than sweet. That's an understatement. Just when things have finally cooled down for 88-year-old Maud after the disturbing discovery of a dead body in her apartment in Gothenburg, a couple of detectives return to her doorstep. Though Maud dodges their questions with the skill of an Olympic gymnast, a fifth of her age, she wonders if suspicion has fallen on her, little old lady that she is. The truth is, ever since Maud was a girl, death has seemed to follow her. In these 6 interlocking stories, memories of unfortunate incidents from Maud's past keep bubbling to the surface. Meanwhile, certain problems in the present require immediate attention. Luckily, Maud is no stranger to taking matters into her own hands, even if it means she has to get a little blood on them in the process. And about the author, she's the author of the Irene Huss series, the Embla Nystrom series, and An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good, that's the first book, which also features Maud. She was born in Gothenburg, Sweden, where she now lives with her husband. But these 6 stories, it's cozy and yet so not. This little old woman really does have blood on her hands. So I cannot speak any higher about these stories, except if you're into murder mysteries, especially dealing with seemingly sweet little old ladies that, you know, keep jars of arsenic all over the house, An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed is the kind of book for you. And it does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. So yes, I cannot wait to get the first book and check it out and just read more about Maud. But so, and yes, all 6 stories do interlock, but man, you're just like, what is this little old lady doing? But they're well written. You feel sorry for Maud. Actually, I take that back. I don't feel sorry for Maud, but I'm totally silently rooting for her. I'm in her corner going, yeah, I think he deserved that. I really think he deserved that. But yes, An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed by Helene Tursten. What a read. Perfect, perfect gift for the murder mystery enthusiast in your life. Or maybe that's you. So thank you. Right, so the second book, I have to admit, this is the first time I've ever read him. And he is such a legend. And I hate the fact that this is the first time I've ever read him. But he's made me a fan for life. Again, I love that about books. You know, I'm sure some people think that, oh, you know, I should have started this author when I was in my 20s and now I'm in my 50s. And it's like, no, it doesn't matter what age you are. When you start and you like them, you got time. Read, enjoy them. And this is Gabriel Garcia Marquez's book, Until August. So let me read the dust jacket for you. The extraordinary final novel from one of the most acclaimed writers of our time. Sitting alone beside the languorous blue waters of the lagoon, Anna Magdalena Bach contemplates the men at the hotel bar. She has been happily married for 27 years and has no reason to escape the life she has made with her husband and children. And yet, every August, she travels by ferry here to the island where her mother is buried and for one night takes a new lover. Across sultry Caribbean evenings full of salsa and boleros, lotharios and conmen, Anna journeys further each year into the hinterland of her desire and the fear hidden in her heart. Constantly surprising, joyously sensual, Until August is a profound meditation, on freedom, regret, self-transformation, and the mysteries of love. An unexpected gift from one of the greatest writers the world has ever known. And about Gabriel Garcia Marquez, he was born in Colombia in 1927. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1982. He is the author of many works of fiction and nonfiction, including 100 Years of Solitude and Love in the Time of Cholera. He died in 2014. And his books include Chronicle of a Death Foretold, The General and His Labyrinth, I'm Not Here to Give a Speech, Living to Tell the Tale, Love in the Time of Cholera, Memories of My Melancholy Horrors, News of a Kidnapping, Of Love and Other Demons, The Scandal of the Century, The Story of a Shipwrecked Sailor, and Strange Pilgrims. Those are all available in paperback from Vintage Books. And The General and His Labyrinth and Love in the Time of Cholera are available in every man's library. So this read like a sensual fairy tale. There was no magic, no, hocus pocus, things like that, but there was a magic. A little bit of a cautionary tale as well. But what a beautiful, beautiful, sensual story. And I had heard about this book coming out, and I thought, okay, now's your chance to delve into Gabriel Garcia Marquez's work. And when I read it, I fell in love with it. Excuse me. I fell in love with his writing. I fell in love with the flow of his words. Very gentle, very seductive, very soothing, very contemplative. Words that make you think, words that make you appreciate life and death, words that make you want to fall in love. But this, Until August, is a beautiful, beautiful story. And I'm so glad that I was just able to finally get into his work. And it does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House as well. Truly, truly magical. And I'm glad that my library systems do carry his books, and I just look forward to checking out all of his other works. So to the spirit of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, thank you so much. Thank you. So now we're gonna get into the tea portion, but my kettle is on my teapot's on the fritz right now because I didn't clean it out properly. Whoops. So I thought, you know what? This is a cool idea to do this instead. We're gonna talk about iced tea. And I have to admit, this is one of my favorite iced teas. Lipton, you are amazing. This iced tea with lemon is fantastic. I have my glass right here. So I know you're probably thinking like, well, what's the big deal? I mean, iced tea, who cares? There's a history behind iced tea, and from the website heavenlytealeaves.com, and I'll read it for you about the history of iced tea. So tea had been grown in America by colonists since the 1600s, starting in South Carolina, spreading across the South, which actually makes a lot of sense. And actually, nowadays, there's a tea plantation in South Carolina. I think that's right, South Carolina. And then there's another tea plantation in Mississippi. And then there's another tea plantation, if I remember correctly, in Louisiana. I think so, I'm not sure. Let's see, the first known published iced tea recipes in the United States appeared in the Buckeye Cookbook in 1876 and Housekeeping in Old Virginia in 1877. But even earlier, there was a recipe that was called tea punch, which included alcohol. And let's see, the popularity of the drink started to explode. But let's see, at that time, most recipes called for the tea to be brewed hot and chilled later on. And then early instructions call for lemon, sugar, and ice to be added to the black tea. Although sweet tea is attributed to being in the South, there are early accounts of it tracing back as far north as Boston too. Who knew? But the drink truly took off, and this is the part I kind of remember, in the World's Fair in 1904. Richard Bletchenden, the commissioner of tea for India and one of the fair's directors, was exhibiting black tea. But of course it was really hot, and so he brewed it, but then he chilled it down, and then it was an instant hit. And so restaurants started to jump onto the idea, and turned out to be more than just a short-term fix. And by World War I, households were catching on, and iced tea just remains to be a part of this country's culture, pretty much. But what's really interesting is that I've had many customers throughout the years, especially during the summer months, they'll say, man, I don't want to drink hot tea in the middle of summer, and Then I go, well, you know, actually I kind of drink it hot in the middle of the summer, and you can ice these. And a lot of people don't realize that even with my loose leaf tea blends, you can ice them. So whenever I have samplers for people to try at different events, what I'll do is I will brew the tea like normal, and then I'll put it in a large container, and then I will chill it. Now there is the thing called sun tea where you make your tea and then you put the pitcher outside and then the sun does its magic, and I don't know why it tastes so good, but it tastes absolutely good when it's hit by the sun. But yes, a lot of teas, in fact, most tea, you can ice it down. Just brew it like normal, put it in a container where it can get cold, and then enjoy it. You can add sweetener or not. So I just thought today would be a perfect video to talk about all things iced tea. And if you do order from my website, please understand that you can ice any of my tea blends. You really can. In fact, I've done that with most of my blends, and I've noticed that, and I've even said it in some videos, where when it's hot, there's certain ingredients that come to the forefront, but then as it cools, you see those kind of take a back seat and other ingredients pop up. But all in all, iced tea is a delicious drink, and with me being from the South, I'm used to it being so sweet you can stand a spoon straight up in the tea. So that brings us to our meditation portion. So make sure that you have a glass of water or some iced tea at your disposal. Find yourself in a quiet room and in a comfortable position. We're just going to focus on our breathing, take a few minutes out of our day, out of the hectics of life, and just focus on your breath. Let's do this. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes, or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now let's have a sip of your iced tea or water. You know, anytime I think of iced tea, sweet iced tea with lemon, I always think of Lipton. Lipton is my go-to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good oolong. I love a good first flush Darjeeling. I love sencha, genmai cha, yellow tea, all of it. I love a nice hot cup of tea. But there are days when my boyfriend will buy the Lipton and I get really excited because it does taste good. So that's all I have for today. So many thanks to the authors, both living and deceased, for the libraries, for having the books, for Heavenly Tea Leaves, for having the information about iced tea, for the wonderful folks at Lipton, and for all the people that do farmers markets, not just in Colorado and throughout the United States. And for all of y'all for watching these videos. I always say this, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. And that's all I have. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your sweet tea high. And remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see y'all really soon. Bye for now.